Oh, here it is. The secret to a lasting romance
Doing new
is
things
doing
together.
new things together. Researchers have tips for how couples
cute.
can connect through spelunking, stargazing, and sharing, what does it say? New things, guys. So couples who tried new activities together for at least 90 minutes a week reported increased feelings of romantic satisfaction, which persisted even 4 months later, right? No sugar highs, aka spelunking, whatever that is, ice skating, stargazing, cooking class, doing new things together. Couples who saw their partners as a source of insight, excitement, and new experiences had more desire for sex with each other. So there's only one person on the panel that's been married for at least a year. Well, I was, but that's a whole nother story.
At least a year?
You've been married, yes, that actually was. But you're the only person who's still currently married.
Sure.
What's the secret to a long, happy, sexual chocolate relationship?
It's understanding happiness, which is exactly what this is referring to. So happiness is not something that happens long term. It's not a destination. It's not some goal that you get to. Happiness is a proximate goal. It is not an ultimate outcome like you were talking about. There's ultimate outcomes and there's proximate. Well, when happiness is an emotion, and I think one of the greatest disservices we do to women is we teach women that happiness is something that they can achieve in the long term and maintain it long term. Yep. That's why we prescribe SSRIs, antidepressants for women way more than we do for men, because we have sold women on this idea that if they get married, if they do this, if they do that, if they go to therapy, if they go to yoga, if they go to whatever, then they will be happy. It's the carrot that keeps you going, right? Well, the problem with that is it fundamentally misinterprets what happiness is. Happiness is doing. We do happy. We don't get happy or be happy. We have to do things, and that's exactly what this is talking about right here. I do things with my wife. We're both in, like, we rescue greyhounds. Okay, so that's like one of the things that we have in common. Right? So we do things, and when you're doing things together, I'm just throwing out something cute, right? I mean, but we also raised a daughter from infancy to like 26 years old, right? So we have a shared history of doing happy together. So it's not like, oh, we're all just going to suddenly get to 65 and we're all just going to retire and have this nice, happy, blissful, joyous feeling all the time. You have to be doing shit. Yeah. And I think whenever I see people trying to put a measurement on happiness to say, well, the average woman is happier or unhappier with kids, without kids, like depending on who you're reading, it's all based on one fundamental bullshit premise, which is you can be happy, you can be content. And the human animal, the human nature of the condition of humans is discontent. And how you deal with that discontent. The things that you do that make you happy, it's also like depression or anxiety. It's an emotion that pushes you from one state into another. If you're happy while you're doing that thing and you're enjoying it and it's intrinsically rewarding, you feel happiness when you are like playing guitar, surfing, doing art, singing, whatever it is that you doing comedy. I don't know, whatever that seems like your natural talent. It's usually because you feel good while you're doing it, and you want to feel that feeling again in the moment while you're doing it. At the end of the comedy show, at the end of the gig, at the end of whatever it is, you might have a feeling of accomplishment, but that diminishes and it goes away and you come back. So discontent is actually a feature and not a bug of human nature. So doing things together rather than just sitting around and saying, oh, hope happiness like smacks me in the head today. That's not how things work. And so if you can understand that and you can work within that framework, you're going to have a much happier doing happy together than you would otherwise.
And MOA. Michael, final word.
What was the question again?
Secret to a long-lasting relationship and romance. You heard Rolo, your friend, your colleague, co-host, give an amazing answer.
Yeah.
What's your answer?
So it's going to be desire, like what he talks about before, but that's going to change over time because you're going to change over time. You're not going to look the same. For me, I think it is a function of partnership and boundaries. You have to, are we on the same team? Do you respect? Respect meaning, do you protect? Do you protect the brand? Do you protect the family? Do you protect the crest? Do you protect the home? Do you protect the sanctity of our relationship? It's not, as a man, if I have an attractive girlfriend, I know guys are going to hit on her. That's not their responsibility to not hit on her. It's her responsibility to protect the sanctity of her nipples, her vagina, and her butthole. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? Her face. That's
In which
her,
order, though?
That's her job. Let's butthole first. It's her. Don't nobody clip that. It's her job to protect that. And so as a result, like it's our job individually to protect the sanctity of that. That's how you last forever. That fiery, hot, red passion, that emotional thing. It's fun when it's up here, but when it's down here, that's when she goes off and she embarrasses you, or she goes off and hooks up with your brother or some crazy shit like that, or files for divorce. That's all down here. That's why this is not how you have a long-lasting emotional relationship. It's the sanctity. It is the peace that comes from respect and from boundaries and from setting expectations.
I think one of the big mistakes that people make about the red pill is that it's like very anti-woman or it's misogynist or everything. I have said this, and maybe this is a good way to end the show. I've said this before in at least 3 of my books. Men and women are better together than we are apart.
Yes.
We are innate, evolved, created, or evolved, however you choose to believe. We're an innate complements to one another. My strengths offset my wife's weaknesses, and my weaknesses are offset by her strengths. Okay, so when people throw this out, I've already been accused of this, of saying, "Oh, you're a male supremacist" or whatever. Like, I've been saying this since as far back as the mid 2000s. Men and women are better together than they are apart, and they are innate, natural complements to one another.
If you're watching this, I have a gift for you. Click the link below, and I will send you a private invite to my community. And yes, it's absolutely free.